Hi, everyone. We're heading down the home stretch here. I'm DeMarco along with Steve Budin. We've got two more games to get to. Jets, Dolphins, Indianapolis, and San Francisco. First up, New York hosting Miami. The Jets, of course, seeking revenge after that little Monday night debacle 3 weeks ago in Miami when the Dolphins scored in the closing seconds to win outright 31-27 as a three-point home dog in that contest. Steve, we watched that game. We were both on the wrong side. We both had the Jets. Which way are you going in this one?
Well, like me, Jet fans have been waiting now for 3 weeks with bated breath. They can't wait to get them a piece of some fish. You know, we looked at that game 3 weeks ago. It was a heartbreaker. Jets lost the lead a few times in the fourth quarter. Dolphins came down at the very end of the game. Jets had no answer for the Wildcat offense. But look, Rex Ryan, he will have an answer this week. His defense is going to bounce back and bounce back with a vengeance. He's one of the best defensive coaches in the business, and he'll have his guys ready to play this game, and they will be coming for blood. Jet rookie quarterback Mark Sanchez back to life after a much-needed win against the Raiders last week. He steps into a game here against the Dolphin defense that he had no problem passing against in Miami. Plus, he gets back Cotchery, his favorite receiver, which only is going to open things up for Braylon Edwards and tight end Dustin Keller. But the big problem here for Gang Green is they're without their big nose tackle, Chris Jenkins, for the rest of the season. But you got to be encouraged by the way Calvin Pace has been progressing. He got, count 'em, 3 sacks against the Raiders last week, and he appears to be finally comfortable with Rex Ryan's defensive scheme. While I was impressed with Miami's effort in the loss to New Orleans last week, I think it was a big emotional letdown, and I think it's going to be way too hard for them to come right back here and match the Jets' intensity at home in what's sure to be a must-win for them. Now, look, I didn't release this game. I didn't bet this game. We talked about it last week on the show. You never bet on or against your favorite teams, but I think the Jets win here. I think they win big, and I think they cover this spread easily.
For the past 3 years, I've been doing TV up at Sportsnet New York, where every week I've got to give my picks on the Giants and Jets. Last year, I could not lose a Jets pick. This year, I don't think I've won any, guys. So, you know, I have to say that I'm going to curse them here because I tend to agree with you, Steve, and this is a game that I've learned to love more as the week has progressed. You know, they had won 13 out of 17 in the series, going 13-2-2 against the spread, but now they come into this one in double revenge. The ground game is certainly peaking. 316 yards rushing last week at Oakland. They had that monster game 1 week earlier in the overtime loss at home against Buffalo, but it wasn't Thomas Jones' fault as he ran for 210 yards in that game. Now, true, they did lose Leon Washington, that broken leg, but Sean Green, the rookie out of Iowa, monster game against the Raiders last week. My only concern, it was like Rex Ryan never saw the Wildcat attack when they played in Miami.
Shocking.
Miami ran the ball 16 times out of the Wildcat. Everybody was running, triggering the Wildcat. 110 total yards. They even brought in the rookie, Pat White, out of West Virginia to trigger it in the final drive.
I thought they were going to bring Dolphin Denny in from the stands and run him in the option the next, you know.
And the other thing is Chad Henne had a big game, 20 for 26 in that contest. But now this is going to be Henne's first road start, and I think that's a big difference. Plus, the other thing that's going to go against Miami here is they had the New Orleans Saints right there, undefeated. They had the Saints where they wanted them.
I know you're mad about that because you had the Saints. You had the Dolphins. I had the Saints.
Right here on the show.
Right.
But you know, they gave up 30 points in the second half of that game. So instead of being 3-3 and having a 3-game winning streak with momentum coming in this rematch, they're 2-4 now. They're going to be hard pressed to make the playoffs this year. So I agree with you, but like I said, you know, I probably cursed the Jets in this one. But
great.
Hey, it's your team, not mine. Now our final game, the undefeated Colts hosting the 49ers, losers of 2 in a row. Indianapolis, the big chalk in this one. But hey, Colts have won 15 consecutive regular season games. Last 4 wins, average margin of victory, 24 points a game. They've covered 7 of their last 8, including 5 in a row. Peyton Manning, past 2 games against the pass defenses of Atlanta and Houston, well, all he's done is complete 68% of his passes, 288 yards on average and 4 TDs. Well, guys, you know, look at today's pass defense. San Francisco's isn't much better than those 2 teams. Meanwhile, Indianapolis's pass defense, number 7 in the league. In fact, going back the last couple of years, last 21 games for Indianapolis, that pass defense, thanks to its good attack and a strong secondary play, 21 interceptions, only 8 TDs allowed, and that's going to be crucial here because you've got Alex Smith, the new quarterback for San Francisco. Now, the 49ers, though, are on a 5-0-1 ATS run as a dog. I got to tell you here, I'm going to take a shot. I know the double-digit favorites have been delivering, but I like the 49ers plus the big points since they've made the change at quarterback.
You know, this is another double-digit game, like you said, and it's really testing bettor's resolve because they're sitting on the sidelines and they're watching all these big spreads cover, and they're saying, when do I jump in? Because they know the ceiling has to be coming. This can't last forever. Look, I have Indy here. I had Indy here last week as my free pick, coming off a bye, loved them against the Rams, thought they would blow them out, and they did just that. And maybe, just maybe, Tony Dungy wasn't the greatest coach in the world. After all, maybe it was just Peyton Manning this whole time. A lot of people are going to argue that the Colts haven't really played anybody good yet this year, but I got news for them. San Francisco, not a good team. I'm going to go with the Colts this time against you. We can save money and bet each other this time because I'm going to lay this point until these bookmakers trap start biting me in the butt. They haven't yet. Let's see what happens this week.
Well, like I said, I like the way Alex Smith guided them to their near comeback win at Houston last week. 21 points once he came off the bench. That's what got him the starting assignment for this one, and I'm looking for them to come around. So we agree on the same sides with the Cardinals, the Giants, and the Jets, and we differ. You like the Colts, and I'll take my shot with the 49ers. Would we bet any of these games personally? No, they're not our best bets, but those are the ones we like from a gambling perspective here on the show. And that will do it for today's show. And remember, you can get all your scores, odds, injuries, weather reports, and more, free picks as well. Everything you need to be a winner today from us online. And make sure, guys, you catch us for tomorrow's show as Steve and I break down the huge New Orleans-Atlanta Monday night matchup. We'll catch you then.